Hi, dear students, how are you? Our today lecture is what is fiscal policy. The word fiscal is derived from fisc. Fisc means state treasury. Now, fiscal policy is basically related to government expenditure and its revenues. It can formally be defined as the deliberate change in government expenditure and revenue to stimulate or slow down the economy and to attain certain macroeconomic objectives. According to John Maynard Keynes, he wrote in General Theory of Income and Employment that fiscal policy is the steering wheel of the economy. From this statement, we can analyze the importance of fiscal policy for the economy. Now, there are two components of fiscal policy. One is government expenditure, which is denoted by G. Government expenditure is basically the government spending on development projects such as schools, roads, dams, and hospitals, and non development projects such as defense, peace, and security. Expenditure on state main pillars such as judiciary, executive, and legislature. The second component of fiscal policy is the revenue. Revenue is collected through taxation, such as direct taxes, indirect taxes. These taxes are collected by the revenue authorities, such as FBR, Federal Board of Revenue, and CBR, Central Board of Revenue. Now, what is the role of fiscal policy during recession and during boom? In the diagram, we mentioned the business cycle. The upper part of the business cycle, which is known as boom, and the lower part of the business cycle is termed as a recession. Now, what is the role of fiscal policy during recession? Fiscal policy is basically used in recessions to stimulate the economy. How it stimulates? It is stimulated through the use of expansionary fiscal policy. An expansionary fiscal policy, government should increase its expenditure, which stimulates aggregate demand. And reduce its taxation or tax rate, which encourages disposable income to increase. Increase in disposable personal income will encourages consumption to increase, and increase in consumption will encourages aggregate demand to increase. If aggregate demand is increased, here the economy is stimulated and come out from the recession. Now, what is the role of fiscal policy during boom? Boom is generally termed as economic prosperity. The boom period, fiscal policy slowed down the economy. How it slowed down the economy? Through the use of contractionary fiscal policy, the economy is slowed down. The government should reduce its expenditure, means government expenditure. Reduction in government expenditure discourages aggregate demand. The aggregate demand reduced and taxes is increased, which stimulate the disposable personal income to reduce. Reduction in disposable personal income will lead to reduce consumption expenditure in the economy, and reduction in the consumption expenditure in the economy will reduce aggregate demand in the economy, and reduction in the aggregate demand in the economy will slow down the economy, and this slowdown in the aggregate demand in the economy will save economy from overheating. Now, there are various objectives of fiscal policy. Number one is stable price level, or to maintain socially tolerable inflation rate, which is generally 3%. Above 3% inflation rate is not socially tolerable, and it is harmful for the economy and the society as well. Second objective is to remove income inequality between rich and poor, and to minimize the gap between rich and poor, and to redistribute the income in the economy as well. Third one is to achieve stable economic growth, to stimulate the economic growth, and to fasten the economic obstacles which make hurdle in the way of economic growth. Fourth one is equilibrium in balance of payment. Whenever there is a disequilibrium in balance of payment, they are corrected through fiscal tools. Fourth one is the achievement of full employment level in the economy. Thank you.